If you're short on cash to buy chips, the casino will give you a line of credit so you can play on.
Casinos call it a convenient service. Others call it downright dangerous. Katie investigator Andy Sheehan is here now with what he's uncovered. Andy.
Well, Rick, under table games legislation, you could be eligible for tens of thousands of dollars of interest-free credit from the casinos. The casinos say this credit is a matter of convenience for their clients, but one gambling addict turned anti-gambling advocate says casino credit is a slippery slope. In the 1980s, Bill Kearney was a rich man until he was seduced by the allure of the Atlantic City casinos.
When you walk into those buildings, they're glamorous, there's no windows, there's no clocks, they're open 24/7, they're serving free booze.
Never before a gambler, Kearney started with $5 a hand blackjack, but soon found himself at the casinos round the clock, with the big boys at the baccarat tables, compulsively burning through his fortune.
Went through my money, then the money I could borrow from the banks, the money I could get off my credit cards, and after I exhausted every means of funding my addiction from my own end is when I went to credit with the casinos.
He blames himself, but says he was helped along the way by the availability of interest-free credit offered by the casinos, something now available to gamblers in Pennsylvania as part of the table games legislation. Kearney, who today keeps a scrapbook of all his counterchecks from the casinos, and a letter from Caesar's Palace saying he owes them more than $400,000. Others will follow in his footsteps.
When they get into the credit, a good percentage of people are going to go south. And when they go south, remember, it's not just the gambler who gets hurt. It's his loved ones. Could be his parents. Could be his sisters or his spouses. Could be his children, his grandchildren.
Casino Resort Bethlehem will open its doors on Friday.
Some are betting on some serious fun, of course, while others say having a casino here poses a serious problem. WFMZ's Jocelyn Mose has the story.
Maybe it was the glittering neon lights or the ringing bells of slot machines that first lured Bill Kearney into an Atlantic City casino in the early 80s. But it was the possibility of getting rich quick that kept him there.
Within 6 months, I lost all the money that I had. And then in the next year to 2 years, I was in what's called the chase, trying to win it back.
Kearney says he eventually beat the house and kicked the habit. Today, he speaks out against gaming.
The casinos are operating like amusement parks with no safety belts or cages. There is nothing in that industry that is going to stop someone from becoming what I once was.
New today at 4:30, Pennsylvania lawmakers postponed action today on legalizing table games in Pennsylvania's casinos. Governor Ed Rendell is frustrated. The issue is still unresolved, and he warns there could be more program cuts and layoffs without that legislation. And now a provision in the bill to extend lines of credit to gamblers is drawing fire. Eyewitness News reporter Jim Osmond is live in the news center with all the details on this one. Jim.
Hi, Susan. It's a reality for some gamblers. You've maxed out the credit cards, drained your debit card, and turned to the house for a little help.
The legislation would add table games at Pennsylvania's casinos, but gamblers exhausting their own debit and credit cards could turn to the casino. The casino would have the option to offer a credit line to gamblers. The legislation would impact the Sugar House Casino under construction in the Fishtown neighborhood and the planned Foxwood Casino in South Philadelphia. Bill Kearney, who lost everything he had because of his gambling habit at Atlantic City casinos, remembers using credit and how he felt.
I had no other choice because I'm in what's called the chase now. Okay, I'm trying to win back my losses.
Kearney wants the casinos, if they are allowed to issue credit, to be forced to issue gambler statements detailing how much they borrowed and what they've won or lost. He says he wants gamblers to be faced with what financial damage they could be causing to their families, because he understands how out of control the habit can get.
You're up against a wall. You're going to borrow, beg, steal, rob. You're going to do everything under the sun.